Kia ora koutou, my name's Mary Boynton. I'm from Te Aitanga Mahaki, Ngati Oneone and Tūhoe. I was brought up in Te Tai Rāwhiti. I am the director of Ngā Toi Māori for Tāwhiti.
Tēnā koutou, hello. My name's Marnie Karmelita and I'm the creative director of Tāwhiti and the Aotearoa New Zealand Festival of the Arts.
The festival's been around for a long time, since 1986, and it's always featured works of excellence and brilliance, from international works through to works of Aotearoa.
The 2022 festival, it's very much about reflecting on and responding to what we've all been through. And we've talked about this idea of space making, that a festival creates a space between artist and audience, creates a space between audience members themselves to connect, to tell stories, to feel, to think, to make, to express.
I really wanted to bring the best that we had from our Māori artists. So I wanted to showcase works from our rohe, from throughout Aotearoa, and to bring those unique voices from those places. It's not just about the spectacular, the brilliant, the elegant. It's also about those small stories, those everyday stories that we don't hear, that don't get the light of day. My desire is to bring the stories of our iwi and of our hapu to Pōneke.
What I think we have done so well for 30 plus years is really select a broad range of works, and they are from artists from all around the world, and we're still tapping into those artists even with our borders closed. And that's been a really interesting idea to try and unpick. What is an international arts festival when the borders are closed in a COVID context? Ideas aren't closed off by borders. Ideas are global, and our artists are connected to the world through ideas and through the art that they make.
It is our responsibility as the Aotearoa New Zealand Festival of the Arts to create opportunities and platforms for our artists from this land to be able to be supported to perform on a global stage. The Hakapati Incident was created in association with the Auckland Theatre Company, and it was written by Katie Wolfe. In 1979, the Auckland Engineering Department of the Auckland University were rehearsing or practicing their mock haka. This is something they'd been doing for 20 years, and Māori had written to the Auckland University to ask them to cease, and they didn't listen. As a result, Hana Harawira and the Rōpū He Taua met the engineering students, and basically there was a violent episode that erupted from that incident. So this is a retelling of that particular event.
Aliens and Anorexia is my kind of theatre. This is quintessential festival theatre. It's edgy, sharp, witty and brilliant. It's from the minds of Eleanor Bishop and Karen McCracken, who've really made a name for themselves worldwide. This piece follows the trials and tribulations of the feminist icon from New York City, Krauss.
Pakuru is a play by award-winning playwright Mitch Tuffy Thomas, produced by Harpai Productions under the direction of Tania Heke. Pakuru is a story about a broken whānau, a broken family, something that we experience too often in this world. It's a story about a solo mum, a Pākehā mother with twins. While their mum is out working or trying to make a living to support her whānau, these two are up to mischief, making naughty videos which they put up online. And it's a gritty rendition of a whānau who have fallen on hard times.
Lysanders Auntie is going to be so much fun. It's Shakespeare, but with a very New Zealand twist, and love wins at the end of the day. There's everything from thunder and lightning to sword fights and shotguns. Someone even gets fired out of a cannon. Lysanders Auntie is very much a celebration of the language of Shakespeare for a start. It's incredibly witty and funny, and it brings together the old text of Shakespeare and the humour and direct human connection that he was able to achieve through language with our contemporary New Zealand speak.
Farikorero is the latest iteration of storytelling coming from out of Heretaunga, from the Farikorero or the House of Stories. Puti Lancaster is a director based in Heretaunga, the Hawke's Bay. And she has brought together Crystal Neho, a self-confessed diva, telling her stories of her life as a solo mother, from extreme weight loss to putting the weight back on, through to Eru Heke, a beautiful young man, 14 years of age, telling his story of being a young brown man growing up in Heretaunga and in Flaxmere.
In a time of border restrictions, Destination Mars lets you fly to space with your entire family in just 45 minutes. This is a theatrical experience for non-traditional theatre goers. Kip and Brad create theatre that you come out feeling on top of the world. You feel completely uplifted. You feel part of a group of people who have experienced that adventure with you, and it's just sheer joy that they managed to create in that live theatre space through interaction, through game playing.
Neke is a beautiful production by Scotty Cotter. It's a physical theatre work, and it's about mana motuhake. Our ancestors have provided po for us, we just have to find them. And Neke is about that, is providing a roadmap for our tamariki or our rangatahi to navigate their way through their lives. Taurete is a new work created by Kura Te Ua and her company Hawaiki Tū. It's been made in an unsettling time, and this was her response to that experience. A search for balance and harmony, but also a comment on how it's really empowered Māori to re-engage and to kōrero about mana motuhake, seeking justice, seeking balance in the stories that we tell in Aotearoa, and a call for action for us to ground ourselves in the whenua. It's a time for us to reassess our lives, to reassess the way they work, the way that we live, the way that we interact with Papa Tuanuku. And taurite is a manifestation, a moimoia, and a comment on the potentiality of creating a nation where tangata whenua and tangata tiriti live in harmony.
Bell, a performance of air, is by movement of the human, or moth. Bell is an experience that will just make people go, wow. Malia and Rowan and her whole team have played with light, and she's taking dancers and circus performers and aerialists and she's placing them above our heads. So she's stripping away the traditional theatre experience. It's really not about sitting in a seat and watching a work unfold in front of you. It's about entering the world of the work and looking up and seeing those incredible performers above you.
Po Hutu is a beautiful creation, a dance work created by Bianca Hislop and Rowan Pierce. It's a beautiful collaboration between these two, and what will surprise our audience is the amazing mix of light, sound, set, videography, powerful performance, dance, and the stories. Hihi, the Song of Place, is being created and in collaboration with Te Tai Rāwhiti Arts Festival. It's a collaboration of all of us people who whakapapa from Te Tai Rāwhiti. Hihi is the voice of the whenua, of its place and of its people, infused with the magnificence and the beauty of Waihirere. Hihi is a collaboration between the New Zealand Symphony Orchestra, between our kapahaka from Te Tai Rāwhiti and special invited guests.
We're presenting the chamber music series, 5 concerts across the entire festival, and it's chamber music from the most delicate and intimate moments to the truly large scale for the chamber form. And it's everything from new voices, new composers from right here in New Zealand to some of the rarely heard works from the master composers. Avondale Bowling Club has become one of my favourite bands in this country. Tom Scott, this young hip-hop artist, brought together this really extraordinary band of young and emerging jazz musicians. This extraordinary sense of freedom in the music, alongside Tom's hard-hitting lyrics about, you know, growing up in South Auckland.
Black Cats, Reverbs, Revibes Aotearoa Nation is a collective of wahine Māori who came out of Flaxmere. Ngātai Huata, one of the founding members of Black Cats and also the artistic director of this performance, has brought together all of these wahine as a retro performance of the Black Cats music from the 1970s right through to the millennium.
Taonga Moana is an extraordinary musical experience from our national choir in top form. It's a celebration of the beauty and vulnerability of our oceans. The artistic director of Voices New Zealand, Karen Grills, has selected a series of works for a choir that represent oceans from the top of the earth right down to Antarctica through a new composition from our own Warren Maxwell. Resample Tattoo is an incredible work from one of our unsung geniuses, DJ Anonymous, who is also known as Matt Salapu. He creates these worlds of sound through using site-specific recordings. Resample Tattoo is an incredibly personal and powerful work for Matt and speaks about his own experience of receiving the full-body Samoan tattoo.
We have a beautiful festival curated for you of 29 days of music, dance, poetry, literature, theatre. There's everything that you would normally see in an international arts festival, but it's a festival about our stories of our place and of our whenua.
We're really excited to get back in front of audiences. There's something about coming together as a community in a darkened theatre to experience that thrill of live performance, a highly trained artist who is sharing the depths of their soul or their excitement or joy, and you're all in that moment together for just that one moment in time, and I think we've been missing that.
Whatever COVID brings us, we will respond to it in kind. We want our audiences to enjoy themselves, to have fun, but also to be challenged, to be mesmerised, to see the diversity of the creativity that we have here in Aotearoa, the brilliance, the storytelling from those very small bespoke performances right through to spectacular creations.